let's say a park, Alta Plaza Park in San Francisco. You'll see this nice little park right here. Now, if we look at the actual map, you'll notice that certain areas, certain pathways here aren't actually available. You'll also notice that other little structures here aren't available as well, such as this playground area and this basketball court. Each of these pathways, like this linking here to here, will change the directions a little bit, but let's just show how to add in that pathway. If this was, so when we go to add a pathway, we'll go to bring down the drop-down road, railway, river, flyover, underpass, high-tension line, trail path, pedestrian, bicycle overpass, bicycle underpass, various categories. For here, it's a trail or a path. Now, if I just add this here, where it's not connected to any of the already existing pathways, I can draw out the line and actually add another point in that line and draw basically the pathway. Once I'm done, I can either double click or press enter, and it'll bring up that same type of information on the left-hand panel that I edit from point A to point B. And again, in here you can add the sublocality. This is in, I believe, Lower Pack Heights, San Francisco, and again, adding comments for editing. Now, if you actually draw it from this existing pathway, you can actually draw it out to the street, and that will connect this original pathway to this street, again affecting direction. When I press enter, a different menu will pop up. It will say extend Jackson Street, extend Scott Street, or create new road. I don't really want to do that, I just want to extend this path. So again, from here to here, 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 it'll bring up, so depending on what you're attaching it to, it'll bring up different options. I just wanted to address a quick question from the audience. For parking lots, when should it be marked as a road versus a boundary, or should it both be marked? The default for most maps, especially in larger cities that I've noticed, like the Chicago area, it's listed as a road. However, this can actually affect driving directions in kind of a negative way. If you mark the boundary of the parking lot as a separate designation as a boundary or outline or structure versus just a driving path. So if it's already marked as a road, draw over it a layer of the parking lot, and it'll actually improve those directions. Now, to go forward a little bit, we've already gone over how to add a point, how to add a line, how to add a shape, and how to select and edit those aspects as well. Let's go to how to actually review already pending edit. If we go to our left-hand panel, we can click on Community Edit, and it will bring up any type of pending edits that are available for review in this map area. The farther I go out, the more pending edits will be there, and I can refresh this list, and we can see various little points here that are pending, ready for review. I want to check out the map and see if this one aspect is still there. So we can actually see right here that there's this very large polygon stretching out all over the city. Let's check out and see if we can see what that is. Let's see, find near this point. Many more. Let's actually go at this here. All right. So here you actually see this F, this point F. And it's labeled as a rest area. Now, I sincerely doubt that this entire area of San Francisco is a rest area, and having lived in here, I can tell you it's definitely not that restful. So let's check out this edit and check out the details of it. So marked out the boundary. There's not that much information actually listed here. No website, no actual plot point. And if we look at the review for it, we can actually see that there's been requests for more information without any actual information, given. So what we can do from here is we can either edit this edit. Sorry, it's a little bit redundant. Edit this place, add a building, import this, or delete this. Now, from here, if we click on Review Edit, we can actually viewing the edit. We can actually see what it's looked like before the change or after the change. It looks like from here I can select Approve, Deny, Request Details, or Report Spam. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on Deny, since I already have this information that this entire area is definitely not a rest area. And I can list my confidence, either very sure, seems logical, or not sure. And I'm fairly confident that that's not actually a rest area. The reason for this is that it's other. It's not really a misleading edit. It's not good information changed for worse, or it can hypothetically adversely affect user data owners. But basically, the real reason is that this rest area, from my local knowledge, is not there. And from there, I can click on Save, and I just reviewed an edit. Again, I'm just going to click on Cancel so that somebody else can review that, and I'm not really doing too much in this webinar that will negatively or positively affect the map. So from there, we've already checked out how to look at edits, how to make an edit, how to see what's pending. Now let's check this out right here, the Manage Subscription. If you click on Manage Subscriptions, you can actually add a neighborhood, and what that will be anywhere that's shown in this map, I will subscribe to. And I can name that as in San Francisco area, and I can either subscribe to that map view or various other specific keywords within here, such as these different neighborhoods already. If I add keywords such as hospital, Taylor, school, any edit that brings up that, or any category that I add from that drop-down category, like a dance hall, that would also be part of this subscription. And once you add a subscription, it will be listed over here in your Managed Subscriptions, and any type of updates will show automatically if there's any type of edits that need to be made there. And the more neighborhoods you add, the more will be listed here. So I've showed you a little bit about how to use Google Map Maker, a little bit about community edits, a little bit about how to add and edit points, lines, and areas. Really quickly, I want to show one last thing on this page, Submit Feedback. If you ever run into a problem when you're actually making edits to the map or trying to review, or any type of problem at all, you can just click on Submit Feedback. Such as, let's say that I'm trying to add a point, but that category that I'm looking for doesn't exist. Say, a morgue. Let's say that there's a morgue right here, and I can't add that because there's not a morgue, or, let's see, there is a funeral home. But let's imagine that there isn't. So I'm looking for a morgue. Since that's not there currently, I can click on Submit Feedback and report that problem. When it brings up this page, it will show you, when you scroll around, a highlightable area. Now, what I want to highlight is the category, and just write the description of the problem. Category not present. Please add morgue. And once I click preview, it will take me to a preview page that will show me the highlighted area and the actual report. And once I submit, it will go directly to the Google Maps team, and it will be submitted to the system so that those changes will be made. Another aspect that I like to show is if there's an area that I can't edit for some reason within the 187 countries and territories where it's available, I can also click on that submit feedback again and highlight the area that I can't make those edits, and then just add that issue, cannot make edit to map for some reason. You also want to describe what you were trying to do, such as, I tried to add a map. And again, preview, submit, it will go to the system and those changes should be made. So let's go back a little bit to our presentation. Now that I've shown a little bit about what Google Mapmaker can do, I want to tell you a little bit about what it can't. Besides cleaning the dishes and finding you a good dance partner, there's a couple of things that should be addressed. First of all, Google Mapmaker isn't really the appropriate place to see how maps have changed over time. For that, you want to go to Google Earth, which is actually a virtual atlas that has very different options, very, very cool program in Google Geo product. Another thing that Google Maps can't really do is create personalized maps for just you to share with your groups, such as a pub crawl map or a favorite places to hang out in Austin, Texas, or a treasure map for a party. That's really something more for My Maps. Again, all these links are going to be available after the webinar and will be sent out to you. And again, My Maps is going to be the correct place for that. Now, again, Google Mapmaker is not really the appropriate place to rate places that are on the map. When you're adding the details about any type of place that you're editing or adding, you don't really want to say, like, this is a really amazing restaurant in the actual metadata. You also don't want to add this place that has horrible food, avoid at all costs. That's really for something more of Google Places, a place where you can actually rate establishments and write reviews. Now, in the instance where you are a fairly avid mapper or you have some experience with things like GIS or KML files, and you have a lot of mapping data to upload, currently Mapmaker is not the best place for that. You kind of want to check out Fusion tables if you have like a spreadsheet of latitude, longitude information that you can actually upload, and hopefully there will be a pipeline soon to get those onto Mapmaker. But for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, that's perfectly fine. It's more for the more advanced mapper. So now that we've talked about what it can't do, let's check out some final thoughts. Now, from that video I showed you at the beginning, that, again, just to reiterate, was a community of people taking charge of their map and making it available on Google Maps, basically editing the map of their area because they were interested in making sure that people could find out where they're going, making sure that their business was listed, making sure that they had good walking or biking directions, or just enjoying the map. I myself map quite often just as a stress relief. It's kind of akin to me to having a Zen rock garden. It's pretty nice just to map out an area when I want to get my answer. Now, I've already showed a little bit of what you can do with Mapmaker, but just as a reference, we've in our conversations with various users across the world, there's various things that you can do with Google Mapmaker that's going to be fun and interactive and useful. Something that is done quite often is what's known as map up, map party, where people will come together in a community and actually map out a specific area or a specific type of feature and review each other just so that a specific area gets mapped out accurately and quickly. other things that you can do with actual map